We got to use our time, have interesting topics about where we're dialing in from, and then get us to where we're going. So you were a fabulous guest on Authenticity Amplified. Intriguingly, you were one of my early guests, which means we recorded long time before it actually aired. And so now we get to do a little update on us and life, but also just check in again and get people excited to go listen to the full episode on search engine optimization.
Sounds fabulous.
I love it. So I think that one of my favorite things, you did a wonderful job of actually sharing tools that people can use to help with SEO, which is awesome. But we also kind of did like the beginning, like what SEO is. Because it's funny, we have terms like that seems so ubiquitous that everyone's heard of and everyone's seen everywhere. But when people are still just starting out in their business, they're like, wait a minute, I've heard this term, but what does it actually mean?
Exactly. There's so much lingo, isn't there, out there? And yeah, there's certain terms that come about that you've heard of, but until you've had experience or, you've done something, you don't know what you don't know, do you?
Yes. And so it's great. I love that you really kind of broke down to like, what does this actually mean? What do I need to know? And your area of expertise really is podcasts and podcasting and dialing in how search engines and SEO really kind of applies to podcasting. And so we did the bigger conversation about it, but it really kind of dials into your area of expertise around podcasting.
100%, because you've got to think about your visibility when you are running, hosting, scheduling, all that hard work with doing a podcast. You want to get it out there, and SEO provides a really unique and interesting option to do that, because obviously people discover your podcast in the traditional ways, like they go to a podcast playing platform, whether that's Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, whatever they're using, then they search for you there and you come up in all lovely stuff. But there's a whole untapped opportunity of other ways that you can be visible, and that's through search engine optimization. That is optimizing your podcast episodes, finding keywords, finding queries that people are actually using, using them smartly in different elements of your podcast episode. And yeah, like if done right and done smartly, yeah, you can definitely help visibility and get more listeners or get people knowing about your podcast through SEO.
That is so fabulous. And I love it because since we recorded the episode, there's been two exciting developments. One of which is that you had a girlfriend when we spoke, but you now have a
fiance.
Congratulations. That's very exciting. So that's a fun development, because we do talk about her actually a little bit on the episode. So I love that that's a fun development that's changed since the episode. And you've also, when we spoke, you were actually working with a podcast host doing stuff around SEO. And now you are.
Yes, I am a freelancer. So I am a digital marketing consultant specializing in SEO, but also a podcast consultant, producer. I said that in a weird way, didn't I? But yeah, that's been a really fun transition. And another fun development, I'm very sorry if viewers can hear a dog barking in the background there. That's the joys of recording from home. I've done my best to try and stop that.
I think that is a perfect segue into the fact that you also have a podcasting studio that is part of your freelancing. You were just like, let me see how I can work this into the conversation. It's like, you work from home and try to record and occasionally have a dog barking in the background. Let me tell you the solution for that.
There you go. And I was about to go into that spiel, but then my thought process got stopped because of the dog barking. So it helps sell it even more. So yeah, so my fiance, and I find fiance a weird word.
So weird. I don't know where I should know the etymology of it, but yeah, my fiance was my fiance for like for a long time, for a few years before he was my husband, and I'm getting used to husband, but fiance was a lot harder to get used to. It's just a weird word.
It is a weird word. It is a weird word.
Yeah.
And I also feel like you say it like in a weird way. You can't just say it like you kind of say fiance. You do like a weird.
It has an accent to it. You have to say fiance. Like it's like yes, it has a little flair to it. You had to say it like that. Yes.
But yeah, so my fiance, she has a tutoring business and she always wanted to have a physical shop because, you know, growth, getting an actual shop, people in, all of that lovely stuff, grow, develop. And when she was looking at potential spaces, she came across a place that had a room at the back and she had the vision and she was like, Sarah, I reckon you could make a podcast studio. So yeah, that's what we did. So there's a room at the back that we've converted into a podcast recording studio. And that was all fun and games doing all that. But it's been properly sound treated. So, you know, it's got all the equipment in there as well. Has the fancy microphones, fancy headphones, got a roadcaster, got lighting,
Ooh.
video. Oh, so,
Ooh. All the things. I love it.
yeah. So
So if
that's fun.
so you can go visit the factory as well, the Worcester factory, as well as record your podcast if you happen to be local.
There you go. And you can maybe on your podcast talk about the history of Worcestershire sauce.
Worcester sauce. I love it. See, I can't even say it quite right, but yes.
And you won't get distracted or there's going to be no background noise of dogs barking. So there you go. But that's really that's been really fun because obviously we offer that space that people can hire out to record, but then obviously I can offer additional help, like if someone wants to help launch, editing, the production side of things and all of that. So
That's so exciting. I love that you're doing this freelance now, that people can connect with you to be able to do that. And the best way is to actually connect with you probably on LinkedIn then, and to send you a note and say, hey, Sarah, let's connect and help me get my podcast where I want it to be.
yeah, so I'm very LinkedIn has quickly become my favorite social media platform. I mean, we don't need to go into the politics of all the other, like, you know, don't need to get into X and Twitter right now, do we? But
All the things. Yeah.
yeah, but LinkedIn is definitely become my favorite, and it's my most used platform. So yeah, I'm very active on there. I've got all my services on there. I've got some LinkedIn recommendations, so you can see how I've helped other people and stuff. And just send me a message. But I also do have a website as well. So I have a website for my consultancy. There's a website for the podcast recording studio. Obviously, I'm still early days, so there's a lot more that I want to do, and I need to develop and create more stuff. But you know what it's like when you're newly freelance and you're juggling 50 billion plates all at one time. So yeah.
That's amazing. So yes, and if you get to listen to the Authenticity Amplified podcast episode number 12, you can listen to Sarah and learn more about her wisdom around the SEO stuff and get a taste of what it is like to work with her. So thank you so much, Sarah, for doing the entire episode and for being here with us today so people can get a catch up on the things that have changed since you and I recorded and get a sense of what they can get out of the podcast episode.
And I urge everyone to check out that podcast. Had a wonderful time. Thank you for giving me the opportunity back then. And it's been wonderful to jump on this with you now. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with my hair. I've got a massive sweeping fringe there.
You got to have a massive sweeping fringe every once in a while.
Just saw like a paddle of hair just coming across my eyes. But yeah.
Love it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate it. And definitely, if you check it out and you have any questions, you know where to find us.